Welcome to Generation Renovation. Over the course of our show, we're going to take you through some major renovation projects throughout southern Vermont, beginning with the historic Vermont House in Wilmington, Vermont. Scott Dupuis and crew have their work cut out for them with this job. With the lath and plaster torn off, demolition is just the beginning. This building needs to be gutted and rebuilt in less than 4 months in order to meet their Columbus Day deadline. With inadequate structural supports and the addition of a fire suppression system, this job is going to cut it close to the deadline.
So basically what we're doing down here is the existing floor is in pretty rough shape. There's only a couple inches of concrete in here. We have a lot of structural repairs that we're going to end up doing in the floor system, and we're going to be reloading all of the main carrying beams in here. So what we're doing is today we're going to end up pouring a brand new slab down here about 10 inches thick. We've got fiber added to it for strength, about a 3,500 pound mix, and we're going to be putting a vapor barrier down underneath the floor, basically to take out the moisture that you can see is everywhere right now. The whole floor is soaking wet. And we're also putting in a drain pit with a sump pump that's going to pump all the moisture out. And we're not going to be utilizing the basement for anything, for storage, for mechanicals or anything, but the idea is to keep the moisture out of here. Like you see is all over the ceilings and everything right now.
A short meeting with the engineers kicks off this renovation as a priority for Scott.
Basically, we're just looking at how load paths work their way down through the building, and whether the building is adequate, to support those loads. So right now we're just kind of walking through today and assessing what that scope of that work might be, and so that we can start to put together a plan as to how we're going to approach it, but also working it together with the architecture of how it's going to be laid out. So this is one of the beams we had looked at a couple weeks ago. Mortise and tenon joinery. This member here probably being a little bit undersized for the amount of load it's taken over an area.
The biggest concern looking at now is just the size of these beams are obviously inadequate to today's standards, and then the way that over the years all the joists have been kind of, for lack of a better word, hacked together. We're gonna have to develop a full plan as to how to re-support all of this. Just kind of walk through with you and get a sense of exactly what we're going to end up having to do ultimately to bring this building up to par.
Yep.
So actually what we're going to be doing is all these windows are going to get taken out. I mean, right now it's all single pane glass. A lot of the glass is broken. The windows don't function. They don't weather seal. They're not compliant with modern energy code. We're going to be pulling those out, and we're going to be putting in a Marvin Integrity window. It's a full frame window. It has the same look on the outside. You have the same divided light pattern and everything that's on these windows now. And so from the exterior, it's going to look exactly as it was, but they're going to be brand new. They're going to be double pane glass with argon-filled gas. They're sealed much better, and overall it's just going to help us tighten the building up, because we do have plans for basically spray foam in the exterior walls to try to bring it up into energy compliance with the current code. So those will all be, every single one that you see will be replaced. Right now we're really just real beginning stages of getting into things, and we'll be working through everything as we go, with Bob and with John, to basically try to bring everything up and make sure the finished project lasts a long time.